Greetings folks, and I hope you're all fit and well wherever you are in collecting land. And welcome back to the channel for another unboxing and review. Well, not technically an unboxing and review, more a review. Not an unboxing because I've had these figures in the collection for quite some time, and with the release today of Peaky Blinders, the Immortal Man, I thought now was as good a time as any to get these guys reviewed because they've never been reviewed on the channel before. But before we dive in, I'd like to send the usual massive shout out to everyone who supported the channel, and please drop a like and hype on this video as it helps other people find Go Figure. And if you haven't already, be sure to mash that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you're not missing any of the 1/6 scale news, reviews, previews, tours and showcases that we've got coming up. So these were released back, I believe, in around, I'm gonna have to double check it, I think it was sort of somewhere around the time of Big Chief Studios going belly up, and any review of BCS products wouldn't be complete without doing a bit of a roundup of the untimely demise of the company. They were formed in about 2011 in the UK. They specialised in quite sort of niche figures. It was Doctor Who, Jerry Anderson, that kind of thing. But unfortunately, during COVID and due to their small nature and some financial issues, they went belly up. Sort of the end of 2023, beginning of 2024, not to be seen again and disappearing with quite a few collectors' money, unfortunately, mine included. But yeah, amongst their last releases were these two, Tommy and Arthur Shelby from the massive TV show Peaky Blinders. Obviously, we've got the new movie. I am a huge fan, always have been since its inception. Love the writing of Stephen Knight, love Cillian Murphy's performance, just an amazing TV show. So I thought now was as good a time as any to take a look at these two. So without further ado, let's dive in and have a look. We will do as we always do. We'll start with a quick look at the boxes, take a look at the accessories, then we'll get up close and personal with the Peaky Blinders, and then we'll be ending the whole thing with the usual showcase. So without further ado, let's dive in. So boxes, what do you get? Well, I have to say from the get-go here, these are some of Mr. Go Figure's favourite 1/6 scale figure boxes of all time. I'm not one for displaying boxes, but if I did display boxes, these would be the ones I display. What you're looking at here is a shoebox design, nice high quality stock card with this sort of deep blue colouring, but what you're greeted with on the front here is beautiful if the glare is not getting in the way too much. You've got this wonderfully intricate design. It says Peaky Blinders on the front. They're very, very similar. The only real difference is you've got silver for Tommy, gold for Arthur. Let's have a close-up look at this detailing here. It says BCS at the bottom there, character replica figure. You've got all this sort of design work going on. There's guns on there, there's razor blades. It says collector series, 6 scale figure. There's a horseshoe at the top there if the light's catching it. It says Peaky Blinders on the side there, and a continuation of that ornate design. Same thing on the right hand side. On the top it just says Peaky Blinders, and on the bottom you've got all the credits and warnings and contact information, which obviously is completely bloody useless now because they're no longer in business. But yeah, limited edition this one, as with both figures. This was, and I can never make this out, is that 3 of 400, or it says 03P or something like that. It's the same with the Tommy one, can't really make them out, but yeah. They were a limited run of 400 because this is the signature edition. We will get to why it's called the signature edition momentarily. But yeah, really, really nicely done. Love them. On the back of both of the boxes, once again, it says Tommy, says Arthur, and you've got a breakdown of the history of Peaky Blinders there as well, if you have never seen it. And if you haven't caught the TV show, I recommend you go and seek it out now. Let's have a quick look inside. We'll just open one because they're very, very similar, but it's continued on the inside. It's just the level of detailing here that impressed me when I first got these figures. Inside, you are greeted with this slipcover. Just put that box to one side. And in the centre, you've got a portrait of the figure itself, and this card's sort of been weathered to look old and to look in keeping with the period. So it's sort of dirtied up and weathered. And on the side here, you've got a list of the accessories, 2 more shots of the figure itself. and a detailed description of the costume and what's included with it. And on the back you've got this diorama if you're wanting to use it for photography or for posing your figures in front of. And as I say, the same goes for the Tommy figure as well. So that's the boxes, and very, very nice they are too. So without further ado, let's dive down onto the table. Let's take a look at Tommy, Arthur, and all the accessories that come with them. So before we get to the Peakies themselves, let's have a quick once-over of the tools of the trade. Now, you get a shit ton of accessories with these figures from Big Chief Studios. They did not skimp on the accessories. What do you get with Tommy? Well, Tommy comes replete with a bottle of Shelby gin, really nicely done in sculpted plastic, boatload of swap-out hands, you get a cigarette lighter, cigarette case, in sculpted plastic. You get open and closed versions of the cigarette case. You get his revolver. You get 2 cigarettes. You get this puff of smoke, which is meant to go in the end of one of these rather nicely done cigarettes, but unfortunately there was no hole in the appropriate cigarette, so I couldn't attach that rather nice puff of smoke, but it is what it is. You get gloved hands. You get a material hat, which is really, really nicely made. We will get to that. You get a swap-out hairpiece, a magnetic swap-out hairpiece. We'll cover that in the when we get up close with Tommy himself. Both figures come with these pieces, and both pieces come with magnetic hats as well. You get a shoulder holster, which I don't think is leather. It's really soft and has a leather-like feel, but I'm gonna stick my neck on the chopping block there and say that that's actually pleather. But the stitch work is really nice and it looks really good. Unfortunately, I tend not to use it on the figure. It tends to throw out the lines of the beautiful tailoring that we're going to look at momentarily. But yeah, it's there if you want to use it. What else? You get a pocket watch. You get a cup of whiskey, a glass of whiskey, and overall, yeah, a really, really nice set of accessories. Let down by one thing, and you probably already spotted this, in the swap out hands, there's a lot of marks going on here. Now, I'm going to say that this wasn't a QC issue. It looks to me like there was some bleed from the foam in the packaging that this came in, and it has discoloured a lot of the hands. And it's the same with the Arthur figure as well, unfortunately. Never quite got round to removing this or attempting to remove it. It's a real shame because the hands themselves are very, very good. The flexibility is really good there. They're a nice soft plastic, so gripping the accessories isn't an issue. You've got sculpted in bone work and vein work there. You've got the rings, which is really nice to see, and the fingernails themselves are beautifully done with sculpted in cuticles. They've got a shine to them, and you've even got a tip to that nail as well. So yeah, really, really nice hands. Unfortunately let down by some bleed, which as I say, I suspect comes from the packaging itself, onto Arthur's accessories. Pretty much the same situation with the hands there. Yeah, we've got discoloration going on, but the quality is good. If you ignore that discoloration, you can really see, it's a great example here of how good those nails are. And how well they've been painted. He comes with a shoulder holster as well, and as the same with the Tommy figure. I don't use it because it throws the lines out. You get a cigar, a plastic cigar. You get a hip flask, a lighter. You get two handguns. You get the revolver, which is the same as Tommy's, but you also get the pistol as well. Now that's got a removable magazine, sculpted in bullets. Looks really, really nice, all done in plastic. You get his flick knife as well, really nicely painted that to look like wood, and the blade is well painted too. And you get his club, his baton, sculpted plastic, made to look like wood, and looks very, very impressive. You also get these nameplates. Now, this being the signature edition, you get these 2 nameplates, and I think they are a wonderful inclusion. They don't come made up, you have to attach them yourselves. This piece on the front here has a self-adhesive pad on the back, and you simply stick it to the stand. And it's got this metal coating on it, and it's just really, really nicely done. It has the number there, which explains that number on the box, number 105 of 400, and you've got an original Paul Anderson signature on the front there. These aren't copies or fakes or mass-produced. These have actually been signed, which is a wonderful touch, and I think adds just an extra dimension to the figure itself. And you've got the same with Cillian Murphy as well. So yeah, I love displaying these figures with these nameplates. It just sets them off beautifully. So that's the accessories. So without further ado, let's get up close and personal with the Shelbys. Okay folks, let's get uncomfortably close to the Shelby brothers. But before we do that, well, I can't really give first impressions because I've had these figures since they were released, but I'm still super impressed. I think the screen accuracy is there. We will get to the quality of those outfits. I think they are amazing. Overall, I think they display beautifully. They look phenomenal. Let's talk proportions. Yeah, proportions perhaps not 100%. I think Paul Anderson comes in at about 5'9", just over 5'9", and Cillian Murphy 5'7 3/4. Now, stood side by side, both these figures are pretty much the same height, so that height discrepancy hasn't been taken into account, but really it's negligible. Side by side, they look amazing together. But yeah, let's get up close and personal. Let's start with Arthur. So we'll just move. We'll move Tommy back a little bit and get Arthur front and centre. Let's get him off that stand and do what we always do: start at the bottom and work our way up. Let's talk articulation first. Straight away, he's got some heft to it, this body. The articulation is good. The knee joint's very, very good. You've got a thigh swivel there. You've got articulation at the waist, although it is going to be limited on a figure like this simply because of the amount of layers that the figure's got on it. You will see him divested of some of these layers in the showcase at the end. We'll strip him down a little bit, but overall, yeah, the body feels pretty good. You've got a butterfly joint at the shoulder there, bicep swivel, that bend at the elbow, and overall, yeah, pretty. It doesn't feel like the most expensive body in the entire world, but it most certainly isn't the worst I've ever come across. But yeah, let's start at the bottom. Let's take a look at these boots. Sculpted plastic boots, sort of that Chelsea boot style. Very, very nicely done. There's crease work in there, sculpted in laces. The movement in these feet is not the best in the world. This foot was a little bit loose straight out of the box and still is. Not an awful lot of forward and backward motion here, but you do have some side to side, not much lateral either. So yeah, not the best in the world for posing, but still pretty effective. No sculpted in tread on the bottom of those boots. Working our way up, let's take a look at this suit. Now, straight away, the quality of the tailoring is the first thing that impressed me with these figures. It really is up there, I think, with the likes of Caustic Plastic. The tailoring on this, it really had to be good. After all, we're talking Peaky Blinders, and one of their trademarks was the sharpness of the suits and the way they dress. And I think Big Chief Studios caught that beautifully here. You've got this three-piece blue suit, deep blue, pops really, really well. It feels like a nice sort of high-quality blend of materials. It falls well. The finish is great. There are no loose threads hanging down. The stitch work is very, very good, although a lot of it is seamless, like you see down here, down the side of the pants. But overall, the fit, the fall, and the finish on this blue suit is really, really good. High-waisted, as you would expect, moving up. Now, it's a three-piece suit. You've got that beautifully tailored vest going underneath there. Love the buttons on there, the pocket watch. The suit itself is lined, as you can see there. I've got that black lining underneath, and overall the quality of the material and the tailoring for me can't be faulted. I think it's absolutely excellent. Working our way up, you've got a beautifully tailored white cotton shirt going on there. Buttons are really nice, and I'm loving that bow tie. Just done really, really well, and it's affixed firmly, so it's not going to take a lot of futzing. It's not going to fall out of place. The coat now. The coat, I think they've done a cracking job here, or did a cracking job, should I say, Big Chief Studios with this coat. Lovely material, bit of a dust and magnet, but that's always the case with black coats. And it's got this very subtle, if the camera and light are catching this, sort of like a herringbone design going on in there, which has continued around the back. And just all throughout the coat itself, and it looks really nice. And as you can see from the back there, excellent stitch work, excellent tailoring. The bottom of the coat itself is wired, so you can go for those sort of dynamic poses if you're wanting to do that. And overall, yeah, exceptional tailoring going on here. Functional pockets, the fall in the arms is great. Buttons are beautifully done on the cuffs there. And overall, I cannot fault the tailoring. I still think it's some phenomenal tailoring here from Big Chief Studios. Let's move up to the all-important head sculpt. Let's drop him down into this gap and see if we can't get up close with him. Now, this is the plastic hat that I mentioned in the accessories section, although we didn't take a look at it, and it comes away quite cleanly. Magnet on the bottom there attaches to the top of his bonds. Let's put that to one side and bring in the hairpiece. So, the hairpiece itself, very, very simply, you just attach it on top like that, and the magnet's very sturdy and will hold it in place, and you get that trademark Arthur haircut going on, and I really like this look. I tend to keep them with hats on in the display, but occasionally I'll swap them up a little bit just to keep it interesting. And this distinctive hair, I think they've caught very well. Let's talk about this sculpt now. It's unmistakably Arthur Shelby, it's unmistakably Paul Anderson. Is it 100%? I don't think so, but there is a lot of good stuff going on here. It's a fixed neck head sculpt, you've got a lot of movement going on there. The range of motion is excellent, right and left, backward and forward, very good indeed, and it feels solid and sturdy. Let's get him right into camera here. Now, the sculpt is very good. Is it perfect? No, but still, I think for a fledgling company like Big Chief Studios to produce something like this, and yes, it's got some years on it now, I still think it holds up today. I still think it's a cracking head sculpt. Love the detailing in there. You've got the furrows in the forehead. You've got the furrows where at the bridge of the nose there, and lines under the eyes, even down to the little scar on his cheek there if the camera's catching that. You've got the 5 o'clock shadow, really nicely painted. The detailing in the moustache is very nice. Super glassy eyes and the right colour. And the hair, now it's always going to suffer a little bit with the gap because it's magnetically attached, and that's emphasized a little bit at the back there, but overall that line is lost because those who've seen the TV show will know that because of the nature of this kind of haircut, you get that you'll get that heavy line there because it's super long on top and shaved at the sides. But the shave section really nicely painted. You can almost see sort of indentations in his cranium. Very nicely done. And the hairpiece itself, if I can drop him forward a little bit here, get this camera to focus, you can see that individual strands have been picked out, and the colours are really nicely painted. You've got many shades of brown going on in there. So overall, I think the hair works really well. What doesn't work so well is what is designed to go with this hairpiece, is this this cloth hat that we talked about before. Now, unfortunately, getting this onto this head is damn near impossible, and if you do somehow manage to get it onto the head, it looks goofy. It's too big, it doesn't fit on, it takes way too much futzing. You can try and put it on without the hairpiece on, but that just ends up looking even goofier. So overall, I tend not to use these cloth caps. If I was going to use any cap, it's going to be the magnetic one in the display. It just works a lot better and doesn't take anywhere near as much futzing and doesn't look as oversized. So yeah, that's Tommy. Sorry, that's Arthur. Let's take a look at Tommy. Let's get Arthur back on the stand. Oh, we forgot to mention as well, it comes with the bottle of whiskey, which mentioned in the accessories there, and that's the other pistol as well, the revolver rather, that he comes with. So overall, yeah, it's a thumbs up for Arthur, but we need to take a look at Tommy, the all-important Tommy. Now, let's get him off the stand and get him front and centre. Pretty much the same story with the boots here, same Chelsea-style boots with the creasing and the sculpted laces, and the body and the articulation pretty much identical as well. This suit, as with the Arthur figure, it's really the tailoring that knocked me out of the park here, even down, and if the camera's catching this, that slightly short in the leg pant there, the trousers just slightly shorter, showing more boot, which is synonymous with Tommy Shelby. Those trousers were always ever so slightly too short, so you saw more boot. But the material they've used in the suit here, beautiful. Once again, you've got that almost herringbone design. It's grey and white this time, though. Looks phenomenal. And I've always said that well, always, regular channel will know, I tend to bang on about 6-scale suits being one of the hardest things to do. 6-scale manufacturers, getting it right, getting a suit to fit right, for the finish to look right, for the stitch work to look right, is always going to be incredibly difficult. And I think BCS absolutely knocked it out of the park with this one. Once again, you've got a 3-piece suit. That vest is beautiful with that material there. Lined jacket again, wired coat going on. This time we've got that deep red lining, which was synonymous with Tommy and his overcoat, whereas the Arthur one is black. You've got double pockets on this side, single pockets this side. It's got that same herringbone material that's used in the Arthur figure. Slightly longer in the arm, this overcoat as well. And it's the little sort of those little things, the little attention to detail that they've nailed on here. So you've got a little bit of cuff going over the gloved hand here, which really adds to that level of authenticity and realism. You've got the pocket watch with the fob on the end. Moving up, you've got the two-tone cotton shirt here, blue front, white collar, screen accurate, lovely silk tie here. Now this is material, but it's been attached in such a way that, as with the Arthur figure, it ain't going to move around, even down to the beautiful tie pin that's going on there as well. And all of this is solid and not going to move around too much. You can also see the submachine gun over his shoulder here. That's another one of his main accessories. Nicely sculpted, nicely painted, and you've got a removable magazine as well. Now, let's talk head sculpt, but to do that, we're going to take the hat off here and attach the other hairpiece. Now, I'm going to say from the get-go here, I think getting Cillian Murphy right in 1/6 scale, the head sculpt, is never going to be easy. He has an exceptionally distinctive face. His eyes are very, very unique, and it's always going to be difficult to capture. I think they've made a very, very good job of it here, but is it 100%? Well, no. As with the Arthur figure, it's not quite there. It is very, very good, but it's not quite there. And I think the skin tones and textures lack a little bit in the paint application as well. The eyes aren't quite right either, but it could be me. I could be getting this wrong. Let me know in the comment section below. Is this head sculpt a lot better than I'm giving it credit for? Just going to move him around a little bit here so you can see the hairline with that magnetic piece there. Now, I think it was a godsend that the Peakies went for shaved at the back and sides and long on the top, because it gave Big Chief Studio an out to make these magnetic hair pieces, and it works pretty well. The colour's right on the top there. The individual strands are sort of picked out. Could be a little bit more 4K, that hair, but overall pretty good. The shaving on the sides, very, very nicely done, as with the Arthur figure. I would say as well, I'm not 100% certain whether this little nick in the hair here is actually something that is present, maybe a scar on Cillian Murphy's head. I'll have to go back and double check, or whether that is actual damage that's been caused by the magnetic hat. Now that hat does tend to sit around there, and I suspect what it's done is it's rubbed and damaged the paint applications there. So if that is the case, I would say if you're picking this figure up, watch out for that, because the magnetic hat, the plastic hat, does sit low and does sit very, very tight around the back of that head. But skin tones and textures are pretty good. As I say, not as good as the Arthur figure, but overall very nice. The eyes are the right colour and super glassy. And overall, I think as a representation of Cillian Murphy as Tommy Shelby, I think BCS have done a very good job. As I say, not 100%, but pretty good considering its age, and I do like it a lot, considering especially how difficult this man is to capture in 1/6 scale. Articulation pretty much the same as with the Arthur figure. Fixed neck head sculpt, full range of motion there. And overall pretty good. So there you have it, folks. That is Tommy Shelby to go along with Arthur Shelby. Let's get him back on the stand there. So I think what we need to do now is change up this pose a little bit and go in for a final verdict. So the jury is back in on the Shelby brothers, and we have a final verdict. Let's just move this light in so the jury can deliver their decision. The good stuff. Right, where to begin? The good stuff. Let's start with the accessories. The accessories, there's a boatload of them, and they are really, really good. Multiple swap out hands, all manner of stuff, different weapons, the hair pieces, the holsters, the lighters, everything. You get as many accessories as you could possibly want, so you can swap out that display to your heart's content, and you'll never get bored. There'll always be a new pose and new accessories to add. We didn't talk about the stands. The stands are very, very basic. You've just got this sort of cake slice, this wedge with a crotch grabber, but they do the job. Other good stuff, these signature plates, really, really like these. I think more companies should do these. I think they're great, and they just bring so much to the figure and add that extra dimension as well. Really like those. The bodies, yes, they're good, but they're not the best, but they do the job. The outfits, this is where these figures really, really shine. The tailoring here, I'm going to say it again, I think is up there with the best. It's up there with the in-art, with caustic plastic. I think the tailoring is wonderful, the screen accuracy is excellent. The level of detailing in those outfits, I cannot praise enough. I think it is some of the best tailoring I've ever seen in 1/6 scale, and that's saying something. So overall, yeah, articulation, excellent. Screen accuracy is there. The head sculpts, yes, they're not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. However, they are still very, very good. And as representations of Arthur and Tommy, I think they are outstanding, even though they're not perfect. I think they are an amazing pair of figures, and it's just such a shame that BCS didn't manage to ride out the storm and continue to give us figures of this quality. I have a lot of their James Bond figures. They really were going in the right direction, and they could have been a contender. It's just such a shame that they went down and took a lot of collectors' money with them. But there you have it, folks. So a score out of 10. This is really, really difficult. This is probably one of the hardest pair of figures I've ever had to score. Outfits, I would give a 9.5, almost a 10 out of 10 for the outfits. But we're scoring the entire figure, so I'm going to give these an 8.5, maybe a 9. Yeah, I'm going to go with a 9. I think apart from some minor QC issues, the issues with those hands, which I don't really think actually were a QC issue, I think that was a transit problem. I'm going to go with a 9. I think it would be really, really great to see a company like Caustic Plastic or In Art pick up this IP and run with it. You never know, maybe after the new movie, maybe that license will get passed on, and we may very well see these figures again in 1/6 scale. That would be phenomenal. So there you have it, folks. That is Arthur Shelby and Tommy Shelby, aka the Peaky Blinders, brought to us by the now defunct Big Chief Studios. What are your thoughts on these figures? Do you have them in your collection? What are your thoughts on the TV show? What are your thoughts on Big Chief Studios? What are your thoughts on the new movie? Nothing is off menu, and I would be fascinated to hear your take on these two. What have we got coming up on the channel? Well, we've got plenty more reviews, we've got more showcases, more tours. In the review department, we've got stuff from Hot Toys, In Art, Susu Toys, Present Toys, Caustic Plastic, Exo6 Iconic Studios, the list goes on. As I say, we've got more tours, more retro reviews, we've got more episodes of Grail or Fail, pretty much more of everything. So as I mentioned at the top there, be sure to hit that subscribe button and bell notification icon so you're not missing anything. And I suppose all that remains for me to say is a massive thank you for watching, and from myself, from Arthur, and from Tommy, take care of yourselves. Until next time on the channel, happy collecting, and it's over to the showcase.